Talking about going to extremes, all extremes to cover up for a female. Anything. I mean, anything to cover up for a female, okay? I mean, that's what this is. You can't get around this regardless of how you look at it. There is no way around this other than to say that Operation Cover Her Ass Up because she's a female. That's right. Cover up for her because she's a female. Let her get by with anything because she has a hole between her legs. And that's what you might as well say. Because this story here is so bullshit, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. Girl 13 dumps newborn baby in trash, wrapped in bloody jeans, after she didn't know she was pregnant. Okay, hold on. Didn't know she was pregnant. Okay, let's say at 13 she was obese. This way you wouldn't know her stomach's popping up because she's already fat. Okay? So, how does that excuse the fact that she didn't know she was pregnant, okay? So she didn't know she was going into labor. She never had any kid in her life at 13 years old. Chances are it's the first kid ever, right? She didn't know she was going into labor. Okay, let's give her an excuse that she thought it was something else and she just thought she was sick. Let's just give her that, okay? So when the baby came out, why was the baby found wrapped in a pair of fucking jeans in a trash can? Do you follow my drift? Why was it found wrapped in a pair of jeans in a garbage can? See, like I said, Operation Cover Up for fucking female. Anything to call her a victim. Anything to say, poor her, poor her. No, it's not poor her. There is no poor her. Chances of her not knowing she's pregnant is very slim to begin with. And on top of chances of her not knowing she's pregnant to be very slim to begin with, you have to look at the reality. The reality is even if she was 13 years old and obese and didn't know she was pregnant because she couldn't see her belly popping out because she was already fat, okay? It still don't explain how she got around the labor pains. Okay? Don't explain that, does it? And then the trash can. You can't get around them two items. So how can she possibly be poor her? But yet, what are we doing here? That's right. After she don't know she was pregnant. The baby was found abandoned in a trash can in a suburb in Illinois on Sunday. Was the first such case of the new year. Well, of course it is. In the state that prides itself on its save heaven's laws. The baby 13-year-old mother wrapped the newborn in bloody jeans before leaving it in an outdoor trash can. That's right, before leaving it in an outdoor trash can in a town called County Club Hills, south of Chicago. He was taken nearby to Avocat South Suburban Hospital and pronounced dead. So it was a he. Maybe that's why it was in a trash can. Because it was just a boy. Who cares? It's only just a boy. Boys are disposable. Boys are a penny a dozen. Who cares? Boys don't have feelings and emotions, wants or needs. They're not humans. The mother told police that she didn't know she was pregnant. Her name has not been released, of course, because of her age. Likely because she is a minor, no shit. And was in the hospital Monday morning. When he was found, the baby was full term and only 4 pounds and 2 ounces. Newborns generally tend to weigh between 6 to 8 pounds. Found in the garbage around 7 p.m., the boy had to fend for himself through a very cold and snowy New Year's Day, something that lawmakers and children advocates have been hoping to prevent. Well, how is a newborn infant going to fend for itself? But don't worry, we understand she's the victim, right? 2001, Illinois established a safe havens law which allows for new mothers to drop their babies off anonymously at a nearby designated locations like police stations, firehouses, and college campuses, and have the children put up for adoption, no questions asked. A group called Save Abandoned Babies Foundation was instrumental in establishing the law, with exceptions to the latest incident having been markedly successful. Well, it don't matter. What it comes down to is this. You have a 13-year-old girl who, well, she was in love, right? Yeah, because we all know sex is love, right? In today's society it is, even though sex isn't love. But you wouldn't know that because you're too dumb to know that. Okay? But it don't matter how you twist it, don't matter how you look at it, don't matter which way you flip it. Okay? If she was obese and didn't know she was pregnant because she was obese, I mean, can you imagine if she wasn't obese? Because if she wasn't obese and she was thin and petite, then you have the biggest whopping lie ever. Because then you're telling me your stomach didn't grow at all during the pregnancy. Yeah. Okay? So I'm having to assume, and that's right, I said assume, that she was obese. I'm having to assume she's obese because of the fact that she's claiming she didn't know she was pregnant, okay? I mean, think about it. If she was thin and petite, her stomach still would have had to pop out, okay? But the real kick in the ass is the fact that she goes into labor, okay? She goes into labor, goes through all the pain of giving the birth, okay? And then says she didn't know she was pregnant. And okay, you didn't know you were pregnant. You went into labor, you gave birth, okay? Acceptable, except for, what was it doing wrapped in a pair of jeans and trash? Oh, I know. She panicked and she didn't know what to do because she's just a child, yeah. Now, if it had been the boy who took the baby and dropped it in the can for her, she would still be the victim and he'd be in jail right now. He'd be in juvenile. That's right. You know why he'd be in juvenile? Because he dropped the baby in a trash can. That's right. But she won't be in juvenile. Why? Because she has a hole between her legs. She'll just be the victim. Even though the real victim was the baby boy, who is now dead. But what can I say? This is what happens in today's society when we all live on a life of lies, when sex has replaced love. That's right, lust has replaced love, okay? And irresponsibility has become the norm, okay? Irresponsibility, that's right, being irresponsible, not taking responsibility for one's own actions has become the norm. And then we have mainstream media painting her out as the victim in a way because she didn't know she was pregnant, okay? I mean, what can I say here? I don't understand it for the fact that even if she didn't know she was pregnant, how did it wind up in a trash can, okay? Okay, the average age of 18 to 24 or something, it makes us cry when we hear of a baby dying this way. Yeah. The only questions officials are allowed to ask the mother is whether or not she would like medical attention. They are not able to ask for any other personal information. The biggest problem facing advocates like Ms. Gates in general is education and awareness. That's right. Said many people have misconception that crushes and designs drop off pants, but drop off points. But that's not the case. There's just not staffed all day. Anyhow, see, and regardless of what I look here, I'm not seeing where they done anything to her. See, and I looked through this earlier and I didn't see anything neither. Yeah, see, I'm looking for something where there's punishment. It's probably the youngest, okay, yeah, the youngest. See, that's what I mean. There's no punishment that you see here. You're just talking about poor her. Okay? You're not seeing any kind of reprimandations or no actions being taken outside of, well, she didn't know she was pregnant. Okay? So because she didn't know she was pregnant, it's okay that she dropped it in the trash can because, it was just a boy anyhow, right? That's right. It was only just a boy, so it was no big deal. So what? It's only a boy. Now, if it had been a baby girl, then we'd have a fit because it was a baby girl, okay? We'll still feel sad because it was a baby. Yeah. It'll be a tragedy in that aspect. Of course, no charges or anything will come up against her because, she's a girl and she can throw the baby away because it was only a boy. So she can throw it in a trash can because that's what boys are. They're throwable. They're disposable. You can throw them away anytime you want, So it's no big deal. And, it's just a good thing the baby's father wasn't present and didn't go throw it in the trash can for her because he didn't know what to do neither. Because then he'd be in jail because he threw it in the trash can. Of course, she won't be in jail for throwing it in the trash can because she has a hole between her legs. And meanwhile, we'll just say poor her, won't we? Couldn't help myself. It's just the stupidity, okay? The extreme lengths that we go to cover up for a female is just beyond me.